Alright, I'm going to change the spark plugs on this 2017 Kia Rio today. It's going to be the same for 2012, 2013, whenever they started making this body style up until 17. It should honestly be the same even from 18 up, because they still have the exact same motor under the hood. So, fairly simple job. I'll get right to it here in a second. If you want to see the Mustang, make sure you check out the Mustang playlist. And we'll get these things in here. It's pretty easy. I also forgot there's also a Rio playlist on the channel, so everything I've ever done to the car and maintenance and whatnot, and modifications. You can go check that out as well if you wish. Now I'm using these Laser Iridium by NGK. I always run NGK Iridium in all my cars. Best plugs you can get better fuel mileage, longer life and whatnot, a little more horsepower, so that's what I always run. These are like 10 to 15 bucks a piece, okay, instead of like $3. But they are definitely way better plugs, and since there's only 4, that's not too bad. But actually, according to my auto parts store, when I grabbed these, he said that these are factory equipped spark plugs anyway, so that's actually what it comes with according to my auto parts store. So if you go with the cheaper ones, you're actually downgrading from what the car came with. So that's what we got today, the NGK Laser Iridiums. So you need to pop your cover off here. There's no bolts holding this on. You're just gonna pop up around the edges and the back side. It's got these little rubber grommets that hold it in place. Here, and there. And it just goes on those pegs, and there's one more right there. Take your little 10mm bolt out, and then you'll be able to wiggle it up and out. Okay, so these are about twice that long on most cars, so looks like you don't have to unclip that to get them out. Then your spark plug will be down in there. Now this last one here, this is in the way, can't get it out. I'm gonna have to unplug this, which should just be depressing this tab. Yep. Now I'm assuming it will clear. Just barely, huh? Okay, I need 2 hands, but you're gonna turn it like that to clear this, and you have to pull this hose a little bit out of the way. Alright, so there's not enough room with this lip here to get a long extension in there like that. So what I had to do was use these 2 shorter extensions and just connect them together. Now you can either use I believe it's 5/8, let's check real quick. Yep, 5/8 spark plug socket, which they have a little rubber thing down in there that when you press it over the spark plug, it'll hang on to it. So when you pull it out, the spark plug will still be in the socket. If you don't have one of those, then you just have to reach down in there with a magnet and pull it out after it's all the way loosened. The other issue though you run into with these, sometimes when putting it back in, you'll get the spark plug tightened down, but then you can't get the socket back off because it wants to stick to the spark plug. So for reinstall, if you use a plug socket that has the rubber gripper in it, just lightly push the plug in for reinstallation. Alright, so like I said, if you use a plug socket, it'll come out with the socket, or you can use a magnet. And these ones are actually shallow enough to where I can just pull them out with a needle nose. Usually, as I said, the channel is a lot deeper, which makes these a lot longer, but these ones are relatively shallow. Alright, then you pop the new plug in. Pretty much any plug you buy nowadays is already pre-gapped for your application, assuming that they looked it up by vehicle. So it'll already be gapped to the appropriate specification. So it focus. But if you want, you can ask them what the gap specs are. They'll have it in their computer there, and then you can get the little feeler gauge and check it if you want. But I've already verified these are good. You don't want to just drop them in there and bend that tip, because then you could change the gap. So you want to try to lower it as far as you can by keeping your finger pressed against it, and then let go of it. That way it only, drops that much instead of like several inches. All right, so then once they're in there, to make sure I don't cross thread them, I like to go backwards. And sometimes you can feel or hear it click right there. And that's actually the threads setting, getting aligned, and then I'll go forward. Now that I know the threads are aligned, and you see how easy that is? It should be real easy to get them to thread the appropriate way, which is clockwise. And then right there, it tightened up on me finally. If it doesn't do, if there's resistance, then it's cross-threaded. So again, backwards, and I'm pressing down lightly. There you go. That one's a little more subtle. It depends on how much gunk and stuff's in the threads, but sometimes you get a real audible click, and you can feel it through the extension there. But if you lined it up right, it should spin clockwise real freely until it starts to tighten up. Alright, so then your torque spec on this is 18 foot-pounds of torque, which is not that much. That's not very tight at all. So as soon as they snug up, okay, it stopped, just give it a little, and that's about all you're going to need. Get it till it stops. And that's about it. I believe these are aluminum heads, so it's real easy to strip the threads out. I could be wrong about the head material, but it's 18 foot-pounds of torque, or you can just basically you'll just lightly tighten them down, because 18 foot-pounds of torque is not very much torque at all. Apparently I didn't have this one in all the way. Okay, pay attention to the order here on your coils. Where is my 1, 2, 3? Where's that fourth one? Oh, it's clear over here. That's weird. Okay, so yeah, pay attention to the order. It's not, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory where they go. So you just push them down, wiggle them back on, and then reinstall these little 10mm bolts, and you're just going to tighten these down to about 10 foot-pounds of torque. So not quite as tight as you tighten the spark plugs. And once you have it all reinstalled, don't forget to plug this back in, and that's it. You're done. As far as when to replace your spark plugs, your Kia owner's manual will tell you every 100,000 miles. However, that's pretty far even for iridium plugs. The old rule of thumb on your basic plugs used to be every 30,000 miles, and if you had iridium, then you could double that to every 60,000 miles. We're sitting at about 41,000 right now, but I've had a misfire at low RPMs under load for quite some time, and these plugs do look good that I took out, but where's my misfire coming from? So I went ahead and put a new set in here, and we'll see if that solves the problem or whatever. But I personally wouldn't wait 100,000 miles to change the plugs. I've always changed them every 60 because that's twice as long as what your standard plugs were. So that's just me. Some people might disagree with that, but I'm going to say change them every 50 or 60,000 miles. But as far as your service manual, it says every 100,000. Again, make sure you plug that back in. I believe that's a fuel pump or pressure regulator or something like that. So you probably won't run without that. So even though I reminded you guys, I almost forgot myself. So make sure you plug that back in. And if you want, you put your cover back on. Like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just line those grommets up with those pegs and then snap them down on there. Okay. And that's it. You're done. So like I said, there's not much to it. Pretty much anybody can do this. If this video helped you out, make sure you hit the like button for me. Again, if you want to see more Rio videos, check out the Rio playlist. If you want to check out the Mustang, do that as well. I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.